Hey, what's going on? My name is Al. We're in Maya 2026. Okay, so we have two spheres here. The first one, actually sphere 2, is an AI standard surface, and sphere 1 is the Open PBR. And we're going to take a look and see if there's any differences between the presets within these materials visually. This is the default AI standard surface that took 8 seconds to render. And this is Open PBR, and this also took 8 seconds to render. This is AI standard surface with balloon, 8 seconds to render. Open PBR with balloon, 8 seconds to render. AI standard surface blood, 19 seconds to render. Open PBR blood, this took 14 seconds to render. This is AI standard surface brushed metal. This took 7 seconds to render. This is Open PBR, and this took 6 seconds to render. AI standard surface bubble. This took 10 seconds to render. Open PBR bubble, and this took 8 seconds to render. AI standard surface car paint. This took 8 seconds to render. Open PBR car paint. This took 9 seconds to render. AI standard surface car paint. This took 8 seconds to render. So this is using Open PBR and changing the color to match the AI standard surface car paint. This took 8 seconds to render. This is AI standard surface metallic car paint. This took 11 seconds to render. Open PBR metallic car paint, 11 seconds to render. AI standard surface ceramic. This took 13 seconds to render. Open PBR ceramic. This took 13 seconds to render. AI standard surface chrome. This took 5 seconds to render. Open PBR chrome. This took 5 seconds to render. AI standard surface clay, 12 seconds to render. Open PBR clay, 12 seconds to render. AI standard surface clear water. This took 15 seconds to render. Open PBR clear water. This took 12 seconds to render. AI standard surface copper. This took 7 seconds to render. Open PBR copper. This took 7 seconds to render. AI standard surface deep water, 19 seconds to render. Open PBR deep water, 12 seconds to render. AI standard surface diamond, 13 seconds to render. Open PBR diamond, 8 seconds to render. AI standard surface foam, 19 seconds to render. Open PBR foam, 18 seconds to render. AI standard surface frosted glass, 24 seconds to render. Open PBR frosted glass, 16 seconds to render. AI standard surface glass, 8 seconds to render. Open PBR glass, 8 seconds to render. AI standard surface gold, 7 seconds to render. Open PBR gold, 7 seconds to render. AI standard surface honey, 18 seconds to render. Open PBR honey, 14 seconds to render. AI standard surface incandescent bulb, 7 seconds to render. Open PBR incandescent bulb, 7 seconds to render. AI standard surface jade, 28 seconds to render. Open PBR jade, 16 seconds to render. AI standard surface milk, 14 seconds to render. Open PBR milk, 18 seconds to render. AI standard surface orange juice, 31 seconds to render. Open PBR orange juice, 38 seconds to render. AI standard surface plastic, 14 seconds to render. Open PBR plastic, 15 seconds to render. AI standard surface rubber, 8 seconds to render. Open PBR rubber, 8 seconds to render. AI standard surface skin, 14 seconds to render. Open PBR skin, 23 seconds to render. AI standard surface thin plastic, 14 seconds to render. Open PBR thin plastic, 12 seconds to render. AI standard surface two-tone car paint, 11 seconds to render. Open PBR two-tone car paint, 12 seconds to render. AI standard surface velvet, 9 seconds to render. Open PBR velvet, 9 seconds to render. AI standard surface wax, 46 seconds to render. Open PBR wax, 18 seconds to render. Hey, if you enjoyed this video, be sure to check out my course, Noob to Ninja in Maya, where I'll get you up to speed with modeling, lighting, materials, and rendering. Check it out in the description below.